The world of sports is not just about glory, records, and celebrations. Sometimes it takes a dark turn when athletes we admire on the field find themselves on the wrong side of the law. Here are 10 famous athletes who were convicted of murder, shedding light on the tragic and shocking moments that transcended sports headlines. Number 1, O.J. Simpson. Though acquitted in the criminal murder trial of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman in 1995, O.J. Simpson, a celebrated NFL running back, was found liable for their deaths in a civil case in 1997. The case, filled with dramatic car chases and courtroom drama, remains one of the most publicized and controversial legal battles in American history. Number 2, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, a former linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, was charged with murder following a Super Bowl party in Atlanta in 2000. The charges were later dropped, and Lewis pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in connection with the stabbing deaths of 2 men. He went on to have a Hall of Fame career in the NFL. Number 3, Aaron Hernandez. Once a promising tight end for the New England Patriots, Aaron Hernandez's career came to an abrupt end when he was convicted for the murder of Odin Lloyd in 2015. Hernandez's life spiraled further downward, and he was found dead in his cell. In 2017, his death ruled a suicide. Number 4, Oscar Pistorius. The South African sprint runner, known as the Blade Runner for his prosthetic legs, was convicted in the shooting death of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp, in his home in 2013. Initially convicted of manslaughter, the verdict was later changed to murder after a successful appeal by the prosecution. Number 5, Javaris Crittenton. Former NBA player Javaris Crittenton was charged with the murder of Julian Jones, a mother of 4, in a drive-by shooting in Atlanta in 2011. It was alleged that the shooting was in retaliation for a robbery in which Crittenton was the victim. He pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter in 2015. Number 7, Robert Rozier. A former NFL player, Robert Rozier found himself involved with a cult known as the Brotherhood, which required members to commit murder as an initiation rite. Rozier admitted to killing 7 people in the 1980s and was convicted of 4 of these murders. He was later sentenced to 25 years in prison under a plea deal in exchange for testifying against the cult's leader. Number 6, Jason Williams. Jason Williams, a former NBA player, was charged with the accidental shooting death of his limousine driver at his mansion in 2002. After a series of trials and retrials, Williams pleaded guilty to assault in 2010 and served a prison sentence. Number 8, Clifford Etienne. Clifford Etienne, once known for his promising boxing career, found his life taking a drastic turn. Etienne was convicted of armed robbery, kidnapping, and attempted murder of a police officer in Louisiana. His descent from a professional athlete to a convicted criminal shocked many fans and the sports community. His conviction stemmed from a series of crimes in 2005, which effectively ended his boxing career and public image. Number 9, Michael Jace. Michael Jace, primarily known for his role as a police officer in the television series The Shield, also had a brief stint as an athlete before turning to acting. However, his name became infamous for a more sinister reason when he was convicted of murdering his wife in May 2014. Jace shot his wife in their Los Angeles home in the presence of their 2 young sons, a crime for which he was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. The case drew widespread media attention due to Jace's celebrity status and the brutal nature of the crime. Number 10, Bruno Fernandes de Souza. Bruno Fernandes de Souza, a former goalkeeper for Flamengo, one of Brazil's most popular football clubs, was convicted of having his girlfriend murdered and feeding her body to dogs. The case, which occurred in 2010, sent shockwaves through the sports world and beyond. Bruno was sentenced to 22 years in prison for his involvement in the kidnapping, murder, and dismemberment of Eliza Samudio. The case was particularly shocking because it involved a well-known athlete in a brutal and premeditated crime. These cases serve as stark reminders that fame and talent do not exempt individuals from the consequences of their actions. The fall from grace of these athletes not only ended their careers, but also left indelible marks on their legacies.